In a quiet valley, surrounded by green fields and tall trees, lay a small village. The villagers were hard-working and honest people who lived simple but happy lives. Among them was a dog named Lucy, known for her loyalty and sharp senses. Children loved to play with her, while adults trusted her as their guard and friend. Lucy was no ordinary dog. Her eyes sparkled with wisdom, and her bark always carried meaning. The village was calm, but Lucy sensed that one day something unusual would disturb this peace. Her loyalty and bravery were soon to be tested in ways no one imagined. One evening, a stranger walked into the village carrying a bow and arrows. He introduced himself as a hunter. His clothes looked rough, his eyes shifty, and a sly smile rested on his face. The villagers, unaware of his hidden intentions, welcomed him warmly. "I will protect your village from dangerous beasts," he promised. The villagers felt relieved, thinking they had found a savior. But Lucy's sharp eyes never left the stranger. The dog growled softly, as if warning the people that this newcomer was not as he seemed. The hunter gathered everyone and said, "Your forests are full of wolves and wild beasts. I can keep you safe, but in return, I need food, meat, and shelter." The villagers quickly agreed. They arranged food for him and gave him a hut near the fields. But Lucy sat at a distance, staring silently. Her ears twitched, and her growl was low, as if she already knew the truth. The hunter smiled cunningly, while the villagers clapped for his bravery. Lucy, however, remained restless, pacing back and forth near the hut. At night, when everyone was asleep, the hunter sneaked out of his hut. Instead of going to the forest, he crept into the chicken coops and stole hens, hiding them in a sack. He laughed quietly, proud of his trick. Unbeknownst to him, Lucy was awake. From behind a tree, the loyal dog watched carefully, growling softly under her breath. Her instincts confirmed that this man was a liar and a thief. The next morning, the villagers were shocked. Several hens were missing. Worried, they turned to the hunter. He shook his head with a fake expression of concern. "It must be the wolves," he said. "If you give me more meat, I'll stay alert and protect you." The villagers, afraid of wolves, agreed. Lucy barked loudly at the hunter, circling him in anger, but the people thought she was just restless. No one listened to her warning. Among the crowd, a young boy noticed Lucy's behavior. "Why is Lucy barking only at the hunter?" he wondered. He whispered to his friends, "Maybe the dog knows something." The other children laughed, dismissing his thought, but the boy decided to stay alert. That night, he planned to secretly follow Lucy and see what really happened. The bond between the child and the dog was about to grow stronger. The hunter, confident in his lies, struck again. At night, he sneaked into the goat pens and tried to steal 2 goats. But Lucy suddenly barked so loudly that the whole village woke up. The hunter pretended to be angry. "This dog is crazy. She disturbs everyone without reason." Sleepy villagers believed him, once again blaming Lucy instead of doubting the stranger. A brave young girl from the village stood up the next day and said, "A dog never barks without reason. I believe Lucy is trying to warn us." Some villagers shook their heads, but a few agreed with her. She and a group of young people decided to secretly watch the hunter at night. Lucy wagged her tail and barked happily, as if saying, "At last, someone understands me." That night, the girl and the youths hid behind trees while Lucy watched silently. As expected, the hunter sneaked out again. Just when he grabbed a chicken, Lucy pounced, biting his leg. The thief fell to the ground with a loud cry. The youths rushed forward and caught him red-handed. The village's trust in Lucy was finally restored. The villagers gathered quickly. When they saw the hunter caught with stolen animals, they gasped in disbelief. "So, it was him all along," they cried. Shame spread among them as they realized they had doubted Lucy. The hunter, pale and trembling, had no excuse left. Beaten and surrounded, the hunter finally broke down. "Yes, I lied," he admitted. "There were no wolves. I stole your animals and tricked you for food." His voice was filled with fear. The villagers' anger grew. But Lucy barked once, as if to remind them, justice must be fair, not cruel. The elders of the village gathered and gave their verdict. You deceived us and betrayed our trust. You must be punished. They ordered the hunter to be driven out of the village. Everyone cheered for Lucy, who had saved them from further harm. The little boy who trusted Lucy hugged her tightly. You are our hero, Lucy. Without you, we would still be fooled. Lucy wagged her tail, her eyes glowing with pride. The bond between them became unbreakable from that day forward. The villagers tied the hunter and marched him out of the village. Do not return, they warned. Lucy walked at the front, leading the way. The hunter looked back with fear, knowing he had been defeated by a loyal dog. News spread quickly. People from neighboring villages came to see the loyal dog who exposed the false hunter. Children played around her, and she became a symbol of trust and bravery. The villagers proudly called her the guardian of the village. The elders gathered the children and said, "Remember this. Never trust words blindly. Always believe in truth and signs of loyalty." Lucy sat beside them like a wise guardian, her ears perked up. The children listened carefully, inspired by her example. The villagers made a special collar for Lucy with golden letters engraved, "Guardian of the Village." They placed it around her neck during a joyful celebration. Lucy barked happily, her eyes shining with pride. The brave girl and the little boy became Lucy's closest friends. Every day, they walked, played, and shared food with her. "We'll always stand by you," they promised. Lucy wagged her tail, knowing she had found true friends. Years later, news came that the same hunter had tried to deceive another village. But there too he was caught and punished. The villagers realized lies never last. Lucy's loyalty had saved them from a long chain of suffering. The story of Lucy became a legend. The villagers often repeated, "Truth always wins, and falsehood is always exposed." Lucy remained the proud guardian of the village, loved by all, remembered as the dog who exposed the cunning hunter.